It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
Do you love the Tabernacle Choir? This year, the choir's music is everywhere you are. Listen to your favorite choir songs and music and the spoken word anytime you want on Alexa by simply enabling the skill.
Alexa, play music in the spoken word.
Now playing music in the spoken word.
You can also download the Tabernacle Choir app, subscribe to the choir on YouTube, listen on Spotify, and have access to all their wonderful music. Happy listening.
This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LeCaux, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I was, you and Lloyd confirmed it, but remember that dude that was on like a boogie board or something like that? And was
Ocean Spray.
And was just drinking.
That's what it was. It was an Ocean Spray.
Drinking his Ocean Spray and
cranberry juice.
And listening to this.
I think he even got like lifetime cranberry juice or something.
He should have.
I mean, he was just chilling on the board, right?
Wasn't that during COVID?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Right around that time, for sure.
Just on a skateboard.
Just enjoying life.
And honestly, that to me that's the ideal. He didn't care. He didn't care what was going on around him.
That dude could have had all the horrible things going on in his life. Doesn't matter. I'm good.
Just chilling.
I got my cranberry juice. The weather's nice. Like you were saying, you and the family got in the hot tub. The rain was coming down. You're like, there's nothing that's going to bother you at that point.
Yeah, my Sundays are heaven sent right now. I'll tell you what, we get everybody at the house, and I've got 3 grandkids now. My son Sam turns 27 today. Happy birthday, Sammy.
Happy birthday, Sammy.
Got a lot of great things from his mother, thank God, because he's been a successful kid. But they're expecting. So we've got 3 grandkids, a set of twins that will just melt your face. They're so cute, and they're in that 6-month stage right now where they're laughing and responding. But
then they start when they I'm sure they're going to get mobile here very quickly if they're not already, and then that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, you got a whole process of making sure your house is baby proofed at that point. Right now, the nice piece is right now they're like a pin.
Yeah.
On your phone, you just put them somewhere and they're there, and that will change soon. But no, Sundays with the family, dude, that's what it's all about. Nothing better. And we had an awesome day yesterday. My wife made chicken parmesan.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, it was very good.
We did the old Hawaiian haystacks yesterday. A good old LDS tradition.
The key to those haystacks is the little the noodles.
Yes, you got to have the crunchy noodles.
Yeah, that crunch in there is everything.
Listen to me. That's something that we here in Utah, we just said, you know what, we're going to call this Hawaiian, and we're just going to run with it. And it has I guess maybe some people put some pineapple on it. I guess that's the only way that you could call it a Hawaiian anything.
Can you imagine going over to Hawaii and being so disappointed because you've saved your money to get there? You just want to go to Hawaii and have a haystack.
Yeah, like
everybody looks at you.
Where's a good place for a haystack?
Chicken, noodles, rice, and pineapple. What? What are you talking about?
All right, so up at Utah State, and I'm selling them out a little bit here on this, but it comes from a good place. So their football games, they try to match the press box mill to the team that's coming in. And so if Boise's coming in, then it's a potato bar. And it's like, well, wait, wouldn't you want to showcase what you have instead of, because, the Idaho media coming in, like they got potatoes like crazy. So like, why serve them?
Sick of potatoes.
They're tired of potatoes. Like but they always like to kind of match. And sure enough, when the University of Hawaii came in, we had haystacks.
Yes. And they're looking at like,
what is this?
Jake, what?
They're talking to their play-by-play guys like, I do not know what this is. I'm like, I just run with it.
You do. The one thing I will say with those, you have to be careful if you take a bite and one of those noodles gets vertical.
Oh, yeah.
And roof of mouth is, you got to be really careful with that because you're dealing with a couple different textures.
All right. Hey, NBA action yesterday. Oh, by the way, how about this? you were just loving up Lloyd during the break. Colton tweets in, all it took was Tim Lacombe to join the show for Lloyd to start playing good bumper music for once. Wow. Colton,
you're if I'm not following you, I will. You're going to become one of my favorites.
Yeah, but a little bit of a backhanded compliment for our guy.
But it is. I love the music we got going today.
I know.
This is
dude's on a run.
Yeah, it's got a vibe, right? And this vibes.
All right, so you look at the NBA. Can we look at the Denver Nuggets and say they're done?
Yes, they are done. Absolutely.
The window was open. They won a title, and now it's shut, and it's rebuild time.
Yeah, we were talking about haystacks just a minute ago. The tool to mess with those is a pitchfork. Put a pitchfork in those dudes. They are done. And we talked about it. The big issue they had was the defense. I think Minnesota really in game 2 became privy to the fact, hey, let's lower our head. Let's make everything physical. Let's make everything a play at the rim. And, it's shown Denver doesn't want any part of it. It was interesting. They wanted to fight after the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's something we would tell our team sometimes. You get chippy late because we just got outplayed. And it'd been nice if you wanted to fight to start the game, not the end.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're done. And the Timberwolves, once again, kind of finding new life in the playoffs, proving that you got a top-line guy like Ant. You've got a big guy in the middle that can protect the rim, and I will give Rudy Gobert a ton of credit here. I said in the very game 1, because game 1 went just like all Rudy Gobert's playoff series in the past. They played him off the floor. He was a -9 in the first 10 minutes. And so they took him out, and they were able to kind of make the game closer. But from that point on, Rudy Gobert has really dominated the series.
And, overall, too, Rudy in his, 11th, 12th year?
Yes.
Is still impacts a game when he's allowed to impact a game like he was, is still I don't know, can we still call him at his best, still a top defender in the league?
Well, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, because the thing that's great about Rudy is there are so many shots that teams can't even take because he's in the vicinity. He is so good in ball screen. He really only guards ball screen one way in the drop cover, but he's mastered it. And he's done a great job this series being a killer rebounder. He's doing the things you need a big guy to do. You run the floor to stretch it, vertically in transition, and he does that every time. He's a great screener. So in ball screens, he's great at giving the ball handler an advantage, which is what the game's made to do. And then he's one of the best rim threats in terms of rolling down the middle of the floor and that you've got to account for. So at his best, he's great. And I think I think he's finally kind of just leaning into that, it feels like. And the nice part is his teammates when he first got there was some, punches thrown. There was not a great community there. They absolutely love the guy. They've got his back. And, the Timberwolves will advance in that series, setting up, a really good possible second series against the Spurs.
So you've got Rudy playing, again, elite basketball, elite defensive basketball, helping Minnesota win a game. So I got to imagine longtime hater of Rudy Gobert, Shaquille O'Neal, has got to be on board, right? He finally, you're going to see Shaq give Rudy Gobert his due, credit.
I said it's time for Rudy to step up and say, I got Joker. And I said Edwards had to do the same thing to Jamal Murray, because those are the two string. They make everything go. I got to give Rudy Gobert his flowers. Joker's shooting a lot, too, because they might not let him get assists. He's playing. He is earning that reputation. He's guarding him mano, and you got to give him his flowers, Shaquille. I know you and Rudy ain't the best of friends.
Future Hall of Fame, four-time Defensive Player of the Year.
But in fairness, Jalen, this is, in my opinion.
I hate when y'all do that.
Give him flowers?
No, I hate when y'all do that.
The three-time MVP and champion.
Hold on. Do you understand the law of averages? Let me explain it to you. The Joker has dominated him a lot, right?
Yes.
No? Okay, so he has one bad game, right? He has one bad game.
He's had two.
Well, okay, two bad games. So now you're saying Rudy is shutting him down? That's what you're saying to me right now.
He has. He's shutting down.
Bro, just because you miss a shot and have a bad game doesn't mean the defense is shutting you down.
Shaq, he's shooting some open shots, but a couple of those highlights, those are getting blocked, Diesel.
Everybody except me gets a shot blocked, except for Yao Ming. Yeah, Yao Ming blocked my shot 3 times in a row.
No, but you got to give him flowers, Shaq.
Would you admit, though, Joker in this series shooting 40%, 21% from deep, this Joker is not having a good series. Not like it's one bad game.
Yeah, but when you're a great player like Joker, like Chuck, even like Jalen, we don't think people stop us. We're just off. We're just having bad games. So I don't want to listen.
Well, why the hesitancy to say, hey, Rudy Gobert is a factor in this?
Can I finish?
Please.
Rudy himself said, hey, I'm making it tough for him. You know, I'm making it hard for him. I'm trying to be in his face every shot. And that's all you can do. But when you're a guy like Joker, you're just missing shots. I'm not going to sit up here and say that Rudy Gobert shut him down. I'm never going to say that.
He just can't. He can't do it. He just cannot do it.
He has backed himself into a corner so badly.
I don't know whether I respect him for just saying, you know what, I'm just going to be oblivious. It's like arguing with Jake Scott. And I know that you and Jake have done a lot of radio.
I don't argue with Jake.
Because he's impossible to argue with. Because the dude will put his heels in the ground. You're like, Jake will come in and be like, hey, did you see the sky? It was green today. And you're like, no, it was blue. Like, no, it was green. And you're like, Jake, like, look, the window's right there. You can see no, it's green to me. You're like, no, look. But it's like the same thing with Shaq. Like, he's digging his heels in. Like, I don't care if he gets 20 block shots in a game. The other guy was just off.
One thing I've learned.
And by the way, I love you, Jake.
Oh, we love Jake.
That's no shot.
No, hey, we all got our stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing I'll say is I have seen a lot of former players who, you know, it's almost like I said when a guy is an assistant coach and he gets a head coaching job, there's an instant lobotomy that takes place internally. You know, they lose their mind a teeny bit. I will say the same when a guy finishes playing, their time playing and their contribution to the game is probably in the neighborhood of 25 to 30% more than it was.
And by the way, that's anybody. You go to your high school reunion.
And it's growing all the time.
Your guys, you know, your high school teammates will think they were better than they were.
Right. And you know what's crazy is Shaq was the most dominant big man in the old game. But the game's different now.
Yeah.
And I would like to see him out there guarding all these ball screens. I mean, he'd have been a mess. And a lot of the same, chops he takes at Rudy Gobert, he would have been chopped himself. So to me, it's major ego. But I also believe it's a little bit of shtick.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's not forget. I watched 2 of the first 2 episodes of the Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix. And there are a lot of similarities. I mean, both WWE, NBA trying to sell tickets. You know, so what Shaq ends up being is a carnival barker. Mm-hmm. And he's going to say what he's going to say, and he's never going to apologize. And, he's going to be right every now and again. But in this instance, he's dead wrong. I mean, in the postseason, in 4 games, Joker's actually playing more minutes than in the regular season. He's playing 5 more minutes a game. His field goal percentage in 4 games is down from 57 on the season to 39. His 3-point percentage from 38 to 18. His assists are down from 10 to 7.8. And he's down scoring 25 from 27.7 to 25. So there is a lot going on in this series, but I will say if Joker's missing shots, because he doesn't go on a long streak of missing shots. I just went through his field goal percentages on an entire season. Rudy's doing some really good things here, and he's making it hard for Joker.
And he deserves, as Barkley would say, his flowers.
100%. And Charles is dead on right.
And I think it's okay to take a step back and say, you know what, I'll give you that. It's like how Shaq was with Donovan Mitchell for so many years. Like, you're not an elite player. You're not. Like, it kind of is. It's okay. It's okay to be like, you know what, at one point you weren't, and now you are. So I'm going to give you that. Like, you don't necessarily need to bury your head in the ground and just be like, no. The interesting thing is, though, that you're seeing a team in Denver, And I think this is a good thing for the league. Me personally, this is what I do not like ultra dynasties. Like I am not a fan of teams like when we saw the Cavs and the Warriors play in the NBA Finals for 4 consecutive years. It's like that's not fun for me. Like I don't enjoy that. And to see a team rise up, win, and then come back down to earth, I'm all for it. Denver came up, looked like everybody's like, oh, they're going to win 3-4 in a row. This team's going to be unstoppable. No, rest of the league caught up, and they weren't able to hold it together. Same thing, Oklahoma City. Everybody thinks they're going to rip off. They'll probably win it again this year, so that'll be 2 in a row. But they'll somehow come back down to earth because the league is now built in such a way where it's not sustainable to be a team that reels off, 4 or 5 or goes to the finals 4 out of 6 years.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, you've got to do it way different than you did in the past.
Yes.
Because contract lengths are so much shorter. You used to lock a guy up. I remember, it's like hockey now. You're locking guys up for 6, 7, 8 years. And in basketball, those windows are shorter. And so, like you speak of the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're this iteration, I think they are the favorite to win 2 here. Yeah. It's going to get much more difficult next year as San Antonio continues to get stronger, add pieces, move pieces, those types of things. But to me, the windows are shorter, and so it's going to be the front office by finding diamonds in the rough, finding inexpensive players that can come in and play like expensive players in minutes. It's going to be really, really crafty front offices. And so it's not going to be like resting on your laurels. Hey, we got this guy. We're going to lock him up for 7, 8 years, and we're going to have our run at this thing. You're going to have to be way better in and around the margins.
I mean, you look at I'm just looking at Oklahoma City. So Shea is at 38. He'll be at 40, and then 63 and 68 million. Lou Dort is on a team option next year. Caruso is at 18. He'll make 19, 20, 22. Chet Holmgren, this is where it's going to get real rough for him. He's at 13 million, and then his max hits next year where he goes from 13 to 41 and 44 million.
And much like the Jazz, like Ace Bailey and whoever they draft this year, they've got to be those guys. Yep. They've got to punch above their weight in those salary slots to give that jump.
And you got Jalen Williams, who's at 6.5 million. He jumps to 41 next year.
Right.
And so, it's with the apron in place, it's not sustainable for Oklahoma City.
No, and so, again, then they've got to decide who stays, who goes, what do we get for these guys, How do we continue to build this going forward. It's to me, it probably one of the harder things there is to do because you have to take so many things into account. We talked about just all the intel on the player, but then you got to figure out, how they fit the system, how the timeline works with the ages of your team. It's wild. So I'm glad I'm sitting here and we just get to kind of like tour it, like a tour of Italy when you go to Olive Garden. I'll try some of that, but then we can move on. Yeah.
You're like, I wasn't feeling the marinara. Let's go to the Alfredo.
Bring me the Fred.
Yeah.
What's my go-to at a high-level spaghetti or, pasta place is a carbonara.
I knew we were soulmates.
You?
Yeah.
I'm a carbonara man.
By the way, Valters, carbonara, can't beat it.
I think that's where we need to take the wives.
And just wait till we P-card that one, Lloyd. That'll get people fired up in a hurry.
I don't even have a P-card yet.
You'll get one.
Dude, I've got the garage down, though. I know right where to go.
You got that figured out now?
You didn't go into the college again?
No, I didn't. I didn't have security coming trying to. I was like pulling on the doors. Can we help you? I'm just. You a student at Ensign? Oh, sorry. I'll walk over here.
Yeah.
Did you get any complaints about a vagrant walking the?
Surprisingly, I didn't.
Because the hoodie or the beanie, Danny Ainge saw me in this one day watching the guys warm up, and he said, "Are you homeless?" So I don't know why I give up.
And then
that
you got Mark Few saying you look like the dude.
The dude
abides,
and he does.
I don't want to say underrated movie because everybody loves that movie, but even then, it's still an underrated.
Underrated.
Movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I did watch that one because there were so many. I don't know. People talk about that one a lot.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to go find what that's
Best
about.
character in that movie, not the dude, John Goodman's character.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, we were around Mike Conley for a long time. And this is the most Mike Conley thing ever. Like, this is Mike Conley. If you want to know who Mike Conley is as a person, this is Mike Conley. Everything you need to know about Mike is right here. So, Jaden McDaniels gets that late bucket. Joker gets all mad. There's that little brouhaha at midcourt, pushing and shoving, guys saying, "Hey, hold me back, please, hold me back." You know that stuff where
Adams kind of not really.
Yeah, everybody acts tough, and so you got this skirmish, and there's been fines that have been handed out. It got ugly. Did Jaden McDaniels apologize after the game? No, he did not. Did Joker apologize for the dust-up? No, he did not. The one guy who apologized was Mike Conley.
Were you trying to start trouble at the end of the game there?
No, that was a slip-up. That's all me. I take the blame. I apologize to the Denver Nuggets. I apologize to myself, my team, everybody. As soon as I threw it, I looked at it.
Here, Jaden.
This Jaden. And I almost put my hands on my head. I was like, maybe he won't. Maybe. And then as soon as I saw him let the ball, kind of bounce a couple times, it's over. Man. I get crazy.
At least he didn't
see me lower my head. I just knew it.
And you did.
I did. I watched it.
You did see him lower his head.
Oh, no. What did I do?
He's like, oh, boy, this is going to be trouble. It's Jaden.
Hey, every team needs an adult. And Mike is the adult because it's not Joe Ingles.
No.
Joe was probably egging it on.
Oh, he's like, Jaden, are you going to take that? You need to score that last bucket.
Jaden, show it.
I was dying, though. And I was like, the one guy that's going to apologize out of that whole thing, of course, is Mike Conley for just throwing the ball up and throwing it down the court.
I knew when I saw it, he said, I almost put my hands on my head, but he did drop his head. I did love that. That was, to me, the best part of that whole clip.
And he said, look, I apologize to the Denver Nuggets. I apologize to their team. I apologize to their fans. He's like, no, don't apologize, Mike. You don't have to. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
It's time to saddle up and talk about the winners and the losers. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, here's the good.
All right, 11:30 straight up, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. How's that for being on time, Lloyd? Dang.
Man, Alex has got you guys trained.
On the dot. All right, good, the bad, the ugly. So I put this on here because I know you're a Red Sox fan. I know you got members of your family that are Red Sox fans. So I wasn't quite sure if you felt like this was a good or not, so I put it on the good. They absolutely just went scorched earth on that coaching staff. Manager gone, 5 coaches gone. Do you feel better about that move as a Red Sox fan?
That I don't. The problem still exists. It is John Henry's basically refusal to spend money. I could have told you this was happening because I watched the offseason very closely.
Yes.
And they were up for a lot of really, big signings that would have made a difference, move the ball. But what they did, they just kind of stood pat with a toothless lineup. There's no way that they can compete, and it's showing. So they went ahead and fired Alex Cora, who won a World Series. I heard a quote. I don't know who to attribute to, but I heard it in my research. The Red Sox basically messed their pants and changed their shirt.
That's an all-time quote, by the way.
It is, but it's exactly, when I heard it, I'm like, that is exactly what happened, because the same problem still exists, but you've removed something that had nothing to do and is maybe a teeny bit influenced by it. But
Alex Cora will have a job opening day tomorrow or opening day next season.
Absolutely, he will. And the Red Sox are going to have an ugly season, and none of this will do anything more than just make them feel good that it was somebody else's fault.
All right, so somebody's got to explain this to me a little bit, though, because you've got a blue blood Major League Baseball team, a iconic brand. You've got merchandise sales that I got to imagine rival the Yankees. I mean, you think Red Sox, Cubs, Yankees as your top three when it comes to merchandise. You've got probably a sellout nearly every game because people just want to be in that venue and experience that venue. You got to be printing money, and you're in a major market. Like, how are you not making loads of money? Is it just the case that they just want to keep all that money and not spend it?
Yeah, and I think you get too choosy in free agency. You start, nitpicking on things, and you end up with nothing. And that's kind of what they've done. To me, it seems completely foreign to what we're seeing happen here, where basically Ryan's throwing, doing anything he can to build the team. And the way you build the team is they win. The Red Sox, they have tours of Fenway to bring in revenue. They do concerts there. But the sellouts are not happening this year.
Oh, they're not? Okay.
Yeah, so people are starting to kind of, I think, get frustrated by it all.
Like we're
in
done.
In Red Sox land.
Well, one thing that are that Red Sox fans are going to be patient. They're not going to be overly boisterous. They're not going to really call for anybody's head. So that probably gives you a little bit of time on your hands.
Yeah, they are really. There's not a lot of that back there. One of the toughest markets, honestly. That is kind of what Boston's known for, is the second guessing and the criticism. If the Red Sox can continue to win World Series every couple of years, I mean, we're not far from where they didn't do any of that for 70 plus.
Yes.
So the fact that they are, they just got to continue to compete. But this year will not be one of those. And it's an example of, as you said, you've got the brand, you've got the park, you've got everything going for you. But for whatever reason, ownership can't get on the same page, and it makes it tough.
All right, there's your good. Let's get to the bad.
Now the bad.
So there was a big draft party. Diego Pavia had this big party ready to go at his house for the draft. And the Heisman Trophy finalist did not get drafted and was not happy about it. So you think he's going to sign as an undrafted free agent. That didn't happen. Finally, he gets offered an invite to the Ravens mini camp, which is a fairly precarious situation to be in because that means the team definitely doesn't have a real vested interest. You're not going to get a lot of reps. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities. So the chances of you just getting a mini camp invite and even making it to training camp are pretty slim. But here's a guy. This is the first time, I want to say, what was it, 2014, I want to say, that there was a Heisman Trophy finalist that did not get drafted. And he's not happy about it. His family's not happy about it. He did it.
This is uncomfortable.
Yeah, super uncomfortable.
I had all the hats. Every team's hat was represented. So now he's got at least a hat for every team.
And you're like, hey, Dad, did you keep the receipts on those hats at least?
Yeah, I'll just run those back to lids.
Yeah, please. Please. It's only been it's been less than a week, so I think the return policy is still in play. The kid is a dynamic force in college football. I mean, he was fun to watch. I called one of his games. Utah State went there last year, and Aggies actually did great against that Vanderbilt defense. I think they ended up scoring 30, 31 points, but they couldn't get stops. They couldn't keep Diego off the field. I mean, that dude was just running around, making play after play after play, scoring touchdowns right and left. So he was a fun player to watch, certainly on a good team, but he's 24 years old and he's 5'9". Sorry, you got both those things working against you, and then, you go and you meet with John Gruden, and John's like, well, is your agent doing some work for you? Well, here's that response.
Now, are you representing yourself, or do you have an agent?
No, I'm representing myself.
Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't think it was fair that someone was going to represent me and take 5 to 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody taking my money. I'll tell you that.
It's unbelievable for a young guy to be able to do this, man.
look, I respect that. And if you're a first-round draft pick, by all means, keep your money. But agents help you make money, so they can't keep any money that you don't make. And he's not making any money right now.
See, 5% of zero.
Yes, is zero.
Man, you did great.
So you can say that, yeah, he didn't get any of your money. The problem is you didn't get any of your money.
But the problem lies deeper than that. If you watch this kid, you see it. He runs all over the field. He creates, he's fun to watch, and he makes big plays. The problem is his mouth.
Yes.
And these guys, there's a lot of options. And, you got a guy who, he seriously is like that little yapping dog or, that's just annoying. He could have really used a little bit of polish. And that piece right there just shows it all. Completely aloof to how this whole thing works. You need agents. If you're not in that front part of the draft, you need agents working like crazy. Bill Duffy was Brandon Davies' agent. And there was a team that was going to draft him really late in the second round. And Duffy had already got a deal worked out for Brandon. So he basically said, hey, don't pick him. Don't take him. And he went, I want to say he went to the Clippers as a free agent. And it was a good situation. He actually got time. And so, yeah, that's where you need the agent the most is navigating, because you know how many people are trying to get one of those deals?
Yeah. Setting up, using your connection so you get visits. Like, hey, you know what? I'll help you with this contract if you get my guy in. He just needs to get some eyeballs on him. Just bring him out for a visit. Look, don't read all the press clippings. He's a good kid. Just bring him in, meet with your coaches. I promise you're going to like him. Just that stuff to get your foot in the door. But like a lot of people know about his mouth and what the stuff that he was running in Vanderbilt. And when he didn't win the Heisman Trophy, he wrote, FU voters, which I am one. So, yeah, thank you very much, Diego.
I want to apologize on behalf of him.
Yeah, well, I took it very personally. I was very upset. Although I did
feel that you were one of them.
I did have him second.
Well, that's nice.
So, I mean, I voted for him a little bit. But if you go back further, and Vanderbilt did a great job of scrubbing this, no pun intended when I tell you the story. But I'm curious to know if you've heard this story about Diego when he was at New Mexico State and they're playing in a bowl game at New Mexico, and he's still upset because New Mexico didn't recruit him because he was in so much trouble with the law as a kid, New Mexico wouldn't touch him. So Jerry Kill is the head coach of New Mexico State. You've been to Las Cruces. You know how miserable that place is for football or for anything, just living, period.
Yeah, just making a trip to get gas.
And so Jerry Kill's like, well, I need anybody, so I'll bring you in. So they bring him in. He ends up having some success. New Mexico State has a good team. They play a bowl game in Albuquerque, and he goes into the New Mexico locker room, drops drawers, and takes a whiz on the New Mexico logo, not knowing that there was actually camera angles everywhere, and it was all caught on video. And so he was suspended for like a quarter or something like that. And New Mexico fans are beyond upset. Like, you talk to people about him in Albuquerque, they're just livid with the guy. And so that's the kind of stuff that you get with him that comes along with him. He may be 24 years old, but he's still kind of a 15, 16-year-old in that body.
And things that you do, you're Austin Ainge all the time talking about building the Jazz. You got to stack good decisions.
Yeah.
To me, it's like this kid, he just never emotionally got the training he needed. And I mean, I had no idea about that story, but I'm not surprised by it because there is a certain level. Like, you want to be dominant, you want to be competitive, and you want to be alpha. But there's a certain level where you have to have respect, for your fellow players, for the guys on your team, for the guys in the other locker room. And it's a hard reality. It isn't just about you, Diego.
Yeah.
And so no surprise at all. And unfortunately, there's for every Diego Pavia story, there's hundreds of them because there's so many talented people that just can't put it all together.
I can't imagine how frustrating that was as a coach when you saw a kid that's got all the talent in the world, like just uber talented, and it's just not there upstairs. And you're just like, what I wouldn't do to be able to climb inside that brain of yours and just take over for a year. I would have you eating the world out of the palm of your hands if you could just figure your stuff out.
I mean, but that is the reason why the guy goes undrafted and not signed.
Yeah.
Because they talk to everybody.
Yes.
They talk to people and they tell the story. You know, he actually urinated on our logo.
Yeah.
Came into our locker room. I mean, how many of those need to be out there? And if he's done that one time, I mean, how many other stories are out there that we have no idea?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is bad.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
All right, there's your bad. Let's get to the ugly.
And of course, the ugly.
So Texas Tech spent all the money to get Brendan Sorsby out of his contract. They get him to transfer to Texas Tech, and now he has left the program on a medical leave of absence. So you're thinking injury, right? No. It's a residential treatment program for a gambling addiction. Texas Tech comment says they are committed to supporting Brendan through his recovery process and to ensure his long-term health and well-being. According to the head coach, Joey McGuire, we love Brendan and support his decision to seek professional help. Taking this step requires courage, and our primary focus is on him as a person. Our program is behind Brendan as he prioritizes his health. This feels like to me, and again, this came out probably about 25 minutes ago. This feels like something somebody does before a story breaks, like trying to get out in front of it. And who knows, maybe something else has broke while you and I have been on the air. But this does feel like this is a precursor to all of a sudden another story coming out about how he's linked to gambling on games, college games, maybe games that he's been involved in. I hope that's not the case. But when I see this, that's what it screams to me.
Well, I'm just reading a little deeper in something I found. It says the NCAA is investigating Sorsby's gambling as the organization forbids athletes from betting on college and pro sports. According to sources, Sorsby bet on Indiana football while redshirting for the Hoosiers as a true freshman. The other one is he's seeking treatment, came in the wake of his discovery of making thousands of online bets. Thousands.
There you go.
Of online bets on a variety of sports via a gambling app, which just jeopardizes his eligibility with Texas Tech.
He is facing a possible full season loss of eligibility. Remember, Texas Tech is now suing him for $1 million or Cincinnati is suing him for $1 million because he essentially signed a contract, broke to go to Texas Tech. So either he or Texas Tech is on the hook for $1 million. And now you throw this onto it. Yeah, no bueno.
And if you look at their backup situation is a little tenuous because Hammond's coming off the ACL.
Yep.
Right. So what looked to be a really solid group, and I am going to make it a point never to say the room thing. I hate that. That QB room's looking. No. They got the quarterback depth, okay? I'm not going room. I hate the room. I hear too many people say room. So
it's a cliche. Everybody uses it now.
Depth. So, that was a position of major strength, and now
PK loves to harp on that too.
The room?
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you have to go to a room? Let's do it out here in the open.
Well, it is actually, they have their own
I understand they've got a room.
They totally do.
I know, but it's...
I'm just saying it because I've been guilty of that.
No, but I'm serious, and I've been listening to the show. You guys know it's in my blood.
Old school P1.
Always. Yeah, I've listened 20-something years. Just turn it on, listen. But without a doubt, everybody that you have on has to throw it in there a couple of times. And it's just an annoying thing to me.
I am on board.
Okay.
Look.
No rooms.
No rooms. From now on, Lloyd, We are banishing rooms from our conversation.
Maybe I'll start calling it the stable.
Oh, there you go.
The quarterback stable.
The barn?
No, it's just going to go depth.
Depth, okay.
And if you use it, I'm not judging you. I'm just trying not to sound like everybody else.
So maybe we'll have a room jar. Anytime somebody uses a room, we got to put $1 in the jar.
There you go. We got to have side games. You know, what's life without a couple wagers? Oh, wait.
Oh, oops.
Sorry, Brandon.
Hey, all of a sudden we got Sorsby calling up. He's like, hey, I want in on this.
I want some of that action.
I would imagine it says that if wagers are greater than $800, it lead to potential loss of 30% of the season, unless he's betting pennies for those thousands of bets. I think we're well past that.
I don't think these are penny stocks he's throwing that on.
We're well past that.
Did you anticipate that this gambling thing was going to be as big of a problem as it's turned out to be?
100%. I mean, there were days back when we used to go down to play the tournament in Vegas. You know, they would make us enter a separate. In the beginning, we couldn't even walk through the casino. It was off limits. Couldn't even be in there. Didn't want anybody around it. But of course, I mean, you've taken one of the age-old vices, and you've thrown it on a device that walks around with you, and like you're never without it. So, I mean, middle of a game, you see some. Oh man, they're going to come back and win this game. You can put a live. They have taken a vice and given it to everybody and said, you know, if you bet 7 times, we'll give you a free one.
Yes.
But it's everywhere. It's in your face.
So, and I know you've had these experiences as well, but I remember I was at a shoot-around. Utah State was in Laramie playing Wyoming, and so nobody was really paying attention to this game anyway because it's in Laramie. And Utah State, this was the last Tim Duryea year, so they weren't particularly good. And so this game's on nobody's radar. And Utah State leading scorer on that team did not make the trip. He was injured. And then they had another guy that was probably third, fourth best scorer on the team. I'm watching him in shoot around, comes down after just taking a shot, rolls his ankle, and you know he's done on the night. So nobody knows that 2 out of their 4 leading scorers are not going to go in this game. They're already not a good team. Wyoming was actually pretty good that year. And I'm like, and I see the spread, and it's like, you know, Wyoming -1. I'm like part of me is like, I could make so much money right now. I know how this game's going to go. I know for a fact how this game's going to go. But you know what I also know is if I get tied to that as a play-by-play guy and as a broadcaster, my career is done. Like whatever money I make, that's all I'll have to my name the rest of my life because I can't get back into this business. I'll definitely never get a play-by-play job. A chance of being a radio host is pretty slim too because of your access to teams. Like I know I would lose everything if it came out. And especially now with the amount of scrutiny going on. So you shut your mouth and keep your mouth shut and just do your job.
And we just talked about, you know, Diego Pavia and his, you know, lack of emotional maturity. But that's on most of these guys, you know, if they're given the opportunity, they do have insider information. It's become a huge issue, and it's, you know, it goes deep as we used to play games, and if a guy, you know, somebody had a prop bet on a guy back when I was in, Nick Emery'd come to me, for instance, and he'd show me his phone, like some guy from New Jersey threatening to fly out here and, you know, kill him. Like that type of stuff goes on. So it's a mess, and it's weird to me that the league's just, I mean, it's not weird, it's all money, but they've just definitely, there was a line in the sand, and that line got crossed, and now they're just part of the family.
Well, I mean, look, the this injury report brought to you by FanDuel, in which
if you put in 3,
which they announced that he's leaving for gambling addiction, like,
or the, you know, the ticker during games is brought to you by, you know, DraftKings.
Like, I mean, sure, we're going to be like, oh, don't do that, but also please do that.
And the other crazy thing, and I'll finish it with this. You said it. You know how it's going to go, right? No, you don't, because you had no idea. I don't know if the game went the way you thought it would. Okay, but sometimes
you're right.
Sometimes it doesn't, and that's where Sorsby's got himself in a pickle because you make all these big plans. Well, people continue to want more of you, and something's going to go bad.
Yeah, and ultimately, and we said this. This is why the Jazz got the $500,000 fine, not for tanking, but for tanking in a way that made the gamblers upset.
It affected the gamblers and made them call. Adam, so 100%, I 100% agree.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So
What's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.